Every oncologist has a calling as to why they do this. Mine was that I really needed to help people who needed it the most, and that was the GI cancer patient. About 15 years ago, I was asked to come up with some ideas that could transform GI cancer. We have to have high risk, high reward research in order to move the bar. And I'm proud to say that 15 years later, much of the work that we have done has resulted in impact for patients through the research we've done.
Some of the GI cancers are amongst the worst cancers you can get in terms of patient outcome.
When I got started, the average survival of patients with metastatic colon cancer was around 11 months. Pancreatic cancer was about 4 months. It was horrible.
It was typically surgery and then very few chemotherapies available.
But as we've come along now the last 10, 15 years, we are seeing definite improvements in survival.
We still have a long ways to go. Our treatments are not as effective and they're far more toxic than we'd like. And so a lot of what we're doing, and including at the Ruesch Center, is to try to find new therapies, try to find patients who will really benefit from specific therapies.
We understand the tumor biology a lot better. We're able to select, in some case, patient based on the genetic mutations for specific treatments.
And we know now that genetic abnormalities within the cancer drive the growth of the cancer. Thinking about how do I turn a light off? I go over to the wall and hit the switch. No, what I've been doing for years is I've been breaking the bulb with chemotherapy. But now with precision medicine and the ability to measure the genes, we now have drugs that can walk over to the wall and flick the switch.
Precision medicine has certainly evolved from 15 years ago. Not only are we identifying novel biomarkers that we can target, we are actually developing novel therapeutics.
Research cures cancer, full stop. Every advance we've made in the management of people with cancer, every reduction in mortality that we've seen over the last quarter century, based upon the work that we do in our field, is predicated on successful research.
We really appreciate Ruesch and the philanthropy that flows through Ruesch to help us conduct clinical trials that otherwise would not have been successful.
I am so lucky to work in what has become a GI cancer powerhouse. Everywhere I look, I've got people thinking about, caring about, spending their energy on how do we make the outcomes for GI cancer patients better.
We have a lot of support team, and it sort of attract a lot of collaborators.
What the Ruesch Center really did was provide a home for intellectual exchange, for exchange of reagents, ideas, concepts.
If you think about a single researcher doing their research in a street light, and there's one little circle of light and we're standing there, and everybody stands in their little circles. Something like the Ruesch Center actually shines a light over all of this.
It takes a whole community in order to successfully complete a clinical trial and to help advance care for our patients.
We can really pool a brain trust of Georgetown and also the broader academic and research industrial communities to really work together to try to tackle these challenges.
Without the Ruesch Center, having some of these very specific opportunities and support services for our patients with GI cancers wouldn't be possible.
We have had resources that provides access through outreach and through patient navigation to people who do not have insurance or have multiple barriers that prevent their routine prevention and screening visits.
The feedback I hear from my patients is they enjoy the patient symposiums where they are able to get information about caregiver support or ongoing research.
Patients actually go to the website and check on the videos and on specific topics, and they found that's very helpful.
It's invaluable to understand communities and why people get cancer, and then how we can better help them when they do have cancer.
I hope that we can make more progress with early detection, because we do know that really the best way to make a big dent in cancer care is to find it early.
Over the course of my career, we've seen an absolute sea change in the way cancers of all kinds are treated, including cancers that arise in gastrointestinal organs.
The future has never looked brighter for GI cancers.
The contributions of all the researchers that the Gastrointestinal Working Group and the Ruesch Center has put together will be uniquely spaced to do some great work over the coming years.
This is how we've had success in the Ruesch Center, and the first 15 years, I'm proud to say, has been something that's had a significant impact on many, many lives around the world.
I've had the privilege of getting to know Jeanne Ruesch over the years. Her visionary investment in the Ruesch Center for the cure of gastrointestinal cancers transformed the work we do at Georgetown, continues to transform the work we do at Georgetown.
She had a big vision of where this would go, and John Marshall also is somebody who thinks in the big picture. And that's what I really credit those two people with, that the Ruesch Center is still the Ruesch Center 15 years later.
What she taught us all how to do is self-sustain, long game. And I think without that solid base, that care for the future, I think we wouldn't be having a 15th anniversary of the Ruesch Center.
Thank you, Jeanne Ruesch. We couldn't do it without you.
It's just been a remarkable investment, and I'm honored to be part of the Ruesch Center.